Animation really is a flexible art form, and because of that, there's boundless possibilities. You could take it to tell some of the most moving stories about the human condition based in reality, or you could crank the bullshit meter up to 1 million to invoke equal parts laughter and existential horror. That's what I need in my comedy anime at least. Though it'd help to have punchlines set up through a combination of smooth editing, well done animation, and shot composition. Or conversely, the complete breakdown / lack of these things to really make the joke stand out. You know I say all this, but truly, the only metric that matters is the number of reaction GIFs and images that can come from one series. Now moving on to specific series, for starters, there's the modern classic, the have to watch, aptly named Nichijou, or Everyday Life. This series takes the mundane setup of everyday life and brings it to a level that words can't really do justice. Part of the reason I said words don't do this series justice is because of the intense, smooth animation that seems to bring every gag out of the screen. Of course, the characters themselves are also a key part of making those jokes land. As opposed to a drama where sympathetic, understandable figures need to be built through the context of human behavior, in a comedy, they merely need to represent one idea. The more exaggerated, the better. See? Yuko, being the group's honest-to-God idiot, always finds herself in the middle of trouble, but that's nothing compared to Mio. Being a more reserved, reasonable girl, she's often pulled along for the ride that Satan, Mai, pulled together in the first place. Nano's just a sentient weapons platform that aspires to be a real high school girl, and gets that wish. And Professor's just Professor. Moving on to Danshi Kokosei no Nichijou, also known as the daily lives of high school boys. A lesser known, but in my opinion, equal in quality, the take on subverting everyday life and routine, namely high school, is slightly more subdued here, and I mean slightly. There are still plenty of moments that would leave you scratching your head if you weren't too busy laughing. I mean, the beautifully simple appeal of the show is that there's nothing extra to it, just the usual grind of high school life. It comes out as straight as despair is staring into your soul. Now, on to a more recent addition, Hinamatsuri from last season is just a wholesome show about navigating the challenging world of raising a psychic child. The thing about this one is the jokes may not hit as hard as the last two that I mentioned, but they hit quite often thanks to its witty timing, always keeping a good one right behind the other. It also keeps actual heartfelt moments with the usual flavors of WTF while learning your lesson, which I think is the best way to do it. Our final on this list, Asobi Asobase, seems to be on the surface another girl sit around do nothing series, you think? Don't let it pass you. Expectations are shattered pretty early on, both in tone and characters. That's probably the engine that makes the series so funny. Come in expecting typical high school slice of life banter. Come out witnessing ungodly faces, butt lasers, and Kama Sutra positions. Seeing how summer may be ending soon for some, how about you spend the final days raising your spirits with these series? With the exception of Asobi Asobase, the rest are already done airing and completely bingeable. Disclaimer though, if the cops get called on you because it sounds like a murder's coming from your room, I claim no responsibility.